Good morning. We're doing Pioneer Update. Glad you're with us. Gary B. along with Mr. Stefani, principal at Eagle Mountain, and we're going to be talking about several things. By the way, the show is brought to you by the Citizens Bank, a bank that is built for you. Sea Camp I have here written down in my little notebook. What does that mean?
Well, our fifth grade are getting ready to go to Sea Camp. That's October 3rd through the 7th. And all the payments have to be by next week. But it's going to be a good time. They get to go to one of my favorite places I call it the Marsh Pit. They get to it's called a Wetland ecology field class, but Marsh sounds better. Marsh Pit sounds better to me.
Yes.
They actually, on the coast side of the Dauphin Island, they actually get to look at different critters, different animals.
Sure.
And the marsh is kind of depending upon the currents and the tide, if it's high or low, and how muddy it will be.
Sure.
But they will actually get out in the mud and get out in the marsh and be looking for different things in the marsh. So it's pretty cool. And then from there, in the same session, they actually have a seine net, and they go on the same area and they catch little baby fish. They'll end up catching about 15 to 20 different kinds of fish.
Oh, wow.
And so that is actually pretty neat. But then there's a lot more classes. They have an ROV class. They'll create their own ROV, and then they will have competition against each other.
Sure.
Last time I was there, my group won. So
Yes.
had to throw that in there.
Sure.
And another fun part, they actually get to go on a boat ride. And they'll go out there and they'll throw out the net, and they'll bring in a net, and you could even catch sharks.
Sure.
So when I say shark, they're little ones.
Sure.
But it's still fun. But we'll catch all type of fish, and they'll talk about those fish. They might catch jellyfish, talk about the different type of jellyfish. And they have other classes. They have oceanography class of waves, and so they'll look at the waves, monitor the waves, and tell why the waves are important, the height of the waves. And so then we'll have a plankton lab. We'll go out there and catch some plankton and a little net, and then we'll view it under a microscope. So you have all these events.
Sure, going on.
They're a blast.
And they'll be able to tell certain characteristics and tell the difference between the fish.
Yes.
That's
it's pretty neat.
That's really neat, isn't it?
Pretty enjoyable. It's a great trip.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like a super trip. What about first grade field trips? Speaking of trips.
Yeah, they have one coming up on October 30th. And they'll actually go to Parker Homestead, which is pretty neat little area. We call it stepping back in time.
Yes.
And if you've never been there, it's a neat place to go. Well, they'll do old-fashioned games, and they'll do some churning and some grinding, just like they used to do in the old days.
Sure.
They actually love it. It's a pretty neat opportunity for first graders.
Oh, no doubt about it. And we have time about to mention the fact that K2 is going to be involved in something.
Yeah, we have a basketball going on through all three elementary campuses, and each campus will get to host a game. It's about 3 games, I think it's on that night. And that will be actually October the 3rd, and it's a K2 basketball game at Eagle Mountain.
Yes.
It's going to be the first one like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that, and we'll have concessions and just have a good evening.
Yeah, everybody come out and enjoy that. I'm sure that you will. Our guest today, principal at Eagle Mountain, Mr. Stefani. It's always good to visit with you. And just let me say that it don't take you and I long to fill up 3 minutes.
No, it doesn't, Gary B.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.